Let's go again. Welcome to FOH. This week, Cohiba Siglo 6, EOS, July 19. Kenny, when's the last great Siglo 6 you had?
I try and look at Siglo 6s as often as one can, which is not that often, unfortunately. The last one or two I've had haven't been as exciting as they should be. So I'm very interested to see this one.
You always go back to the 2003s, etc. There, that's where I go back to as well.
Well, I understand that there were actually 2002s, but I don't think I've ever seen any of those, at least not knowingly. But the threes were the ones that were sort of, I suspect the twos were more, yeah, they were, and the twos might have been just a little testing toe in the water stuff. Then the threes came out and they were unbelievably good. And they weren't that expensive because I remember buying 2 boxes of the things, including, I think, one of them from you. Unless I got them both from Cuba, I can't remember.
Is that one of the last actually cigars you purchased from me?
Oh, very amusing.
The rest have been freebies, haven't they?
Well, if you hadn't hiked up your prices to so it's basically Russian oligarchs and God are the only people who can afford your cigars.
That's government, man. Government, not me.
Yeah.
No, you can only work on 2% margin so long. So let's look at.
You really want to
cigar. Let's look at this Siglo 6, yeah. Because I think it looks gorgeous. I think it feels gorgeous.
It's showing everything to suggest it should be good.
What's the draw like?
I don't know.
So for those out there looking to see how you've asked in the past, how I take off the cap. Thumb and index finger, nails in, serrate around the edge.
It is equivalent of a brain surgeon using a shovel. You don't, I mean, it's 10 times longer than normally. You normally go,
the fact that you've called me a brain surgeon
it was
brilliant.
Like.
So there you go. So let's get back in there. That's exactly what you get, which is a perfect punch in effect.
Or you can, where are we? I don't know.
Up here, Ken. Well, honestly, it's not too much difference, Ken. Look at that. It's not too much difference.
Except mine actually looks nice. Yours looks ragged and horrible.
That was taught to me all those years ago by Don Alejandro Urbana on his plantation. It was easy.
If you wouldn't hand him a clipper.
He doesn't use clippers. Great draw, mate. How's your draw?
Oh, quite easy.
Quite easy.
Yeah, a little easier.
You made a post today which disturbed a lot of us.
What's that?
You haven't been to the supermarket since CV19 came in for some reason.
Yes, I have.
They're not closed.
No, I know. I have been to the supermarket.
Have you? But you haven't used new Japanese knives yet. Why is that?
They look so beautiful in the boxes. I'm not really sure I want to pull them out.
Fair enough.
I will use them.
We'll be back.
Mind you, I'm not sure about the filleting knife. The filleting knife is seriously, I don't catch fish this big. The filleting knife, obviously.
That's the truth. That is the truth. That's probably one of the first truths you've said in many, many years. Can I tell you? You haven't caught a fish that big.
I am putting up a photo of Barry goes up on this post.
We'll be back with you at the end of
that knife would have been fine for Barry. Unbelievable.
Sorry, people. This is how you actually light a cigar. Ken, do that again. That was brilliant.
What do you mean, do it again? I can't light the same cigar a second time.
You just use that match again. That was absolutely sensational. He did that nice and easily.
The match is now charred, charcoal. It's burnt. It's finished. Really? Yeah.
I love this new you. The way you're lighting cigars with matches, taking your time.
I get nagged. I can do it the way I normally do it. I don't have you nagging me. Come on, hurry up. I can do things as I wish.
What are you drinking today?
Well, I was just about to say, what are you drinking?
A Scotch and soda.
I thought it was a whiskey day. What whiskey are you drinking?
Johnny Walker Black.
Good for you. Thought,
Don't get excited.
No. Some of the Japanese Ichiros. This is the
I've had that
superstar.
before on your deck. I've actually
You
had
have?
that on your deck before.
You have. Well, I had enough
Very
whinging
nice.
last time. Yeah. So I thought I'd have something so you at least you didn't whinge this time. So that's one of the whiskies I'm trying. And the other one is the last of my sample of Teeling, the Irish whiskey. That's their 24-year-old malt.
Love it.
And it won best in the world or something. It's about 600. A full bottle's about 600. So you can see why they don't send me the full bottle. Yeah, stunning whiskies.
Now, can I ask you, what are you expecting from the Siglo 6 without trying it again? Without taking a draw, what are you expecting from it?
I expect, hang on a sec. I just didn't want it to go out. There should be complexity, balance, that sort of lovely, soft, cushiony richness texture, dense smoke, great length of flavour, nothing out of whack, no elbows, knees, etc. Some spices, bit of honey. How does that sound?
Good.
Is that what you expect?
It sounds exactly what I'm looking for. We'll come back to everyone at the end of the last third. First third.
In the first 2 millimeters, we're on track.
Just goddamn glorious, man. That first opening is beautiful. It's
The
in
last
perfect
one,
balance.
yeah, I mean, I had one when it was a month or two ago. Wasn't that excited. This all over it, streets ahead. Well, we're on a run up to the other day.
I have to talk to you about that in a second. I was going to say the EOS box code has been a sensation in 2019, and this is one of the reasons why they've just done a great job.
This is another. This is just.
It's sexy, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, look, you can see how little I've smoked already, and it's just fantastic.
It's got its claws into you. It's engaged you.
Oh. Look, this isolation is great because you're board sensitive, so you're sending good cigars. We're not doing. Long may the isolation reign. Talisman next week. Prosciutto the week after.
We'll be back with you at the end of the first third. Back to the Cohiba Siglo 6. Kenny, I love your ash, and yet again, you've lit it correctly. You have, well, lit it correctly, I should say. It is a glorious cigar, that first third.
Sorry, I've lit it correctly, did you say?
I said lit it correctly now. Yeah.
I've lit it correctly.
Had a few drinks before I turned up. God.
Yeah, and here we are at the wake for the English language.
My ash is nowhere near as good as yours.
No, it's mostly down your shirt. I noticed the camera went off when you put it down your shirt.
Congratulations on your newfound, I don't know, ability to light a cigar correctly.
This is how it happens every time at home.
Flavors. Let's go back to flavors. What are you getting?
Look, you're getting a bit of that honey. You mentioned sort of citrus. For me, it's orangey citrus. I don't know what citrus you're getting, but I'm getting orange rind, honey. It's got a nice creamy texture. Only hiccup, as I mentioned earlier, was there's a little bit of bitterness right on the finish, a bit of sort of bitter almond almost character. And I just put that down to its youth.
Still going through. I'm not getting that. Is still going through now?
Not doing anything now. It died. But like a Gilbert and Sullivan.
It's a glorious cigar. It's a glorious goddamn cigar.
It is.
So,
at the moment, I can
see. So, and ladies and gents, we've come off a H. Upmanson Winston last week that was just superb, 99, 96 points.
Unbelievable.
Which would be up. That review will be up shortly, I'm sure. But this is. It's a little bit unfortunate the cigars come on the back of that. Yeah, on the back of that review. Oh. I'm still putting this at 93, 94 points at this point.
Oh, okay. I thought you would be a lot higher.
No, not at all. 93, 94 points every day of the week. I love that citrus aspect of a Cohiba Siglo.
I'm 94, 95, and yet I got the impression you were enjoying this more than I was.
No, not at all. I love that citrus and honey. I look for Cohiba Siglo 6, look for citrus and honey. And it's just got that in spades.
But it has got
citrus, honey, and cream.
That young.
Fine, no problems for me. For me, no problems at all. I can see where you're coming from there. Just on the edges, just on the extreme edges of that. But being a 2019, I'm happy to have. I just want to have that core. The draw's gorgeous. The burn's gorgeous. Everything else is superb. In that end, for that first third. Where do I want it to go from here? A little more depth. Just give me a little bit more. I don't know, some burnt sugar cane in that second third. Be perfect. We'll find out shortly. Back to you in the second.
How's your Johnny Walker?
Almost empty. I'm going back shortly. But
I
can't wait to get back to your deck, Ken. I can't wait to get back to your deck and have some decent goddamn booze. But feel free. Like I've got a courier account, so you can actually ship some stuff to me.
I could. I've got some Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah. Shove it where the sun don't shine. Second, third, Ken. Siglo 6. Can I tell you, it's picked up. It's picked up.
I've lost that bitterness, which is terrific. Makes it lovely.
It has gone up a level, hasn't it? The Siglo 6 in that second, third. It has gone up a level.
And it's working brilliantly with both these whiskies.
Wow. The cream, the honey, the citrus is just crystallized to a different level.
If Stewie Fox is watching, rock on down to Teeling and grab yourself some of this 24-year-old, or anyone in Ireland.
No, I know Stewie Fox has the Teeling 24. I know that for a fact. He's fine on that.
Yeah, it is a gorgeous whiskey.
I've actually had that. The boys, the Foxy boys, brought that to Cuba one year as a tasting whiskey. It's gorgeous.
It is stunning.
This cigar has, for a young cigar, you don't expect it to improve in that second third. But this certainly has.
No, that's the interesting. It started gloriously, and then it got that little bit of bitterness, and the flavours weren't quite as defined and weren't. It wasn't as refined a cigar. It was still good, but now it's gone back, and there's a bit of white chocolate. Still with the honey.
You're right on that white chocolate, Ken. That's got that white milky bar edge to it. Just glorious. It's gone from good to great in such a short time frame.
Yeah.
God bless it.
The burn has gone a little bit wonky.
The burn has, but I'm no doubt now that you've learned how to light a cigar, you'll be fine.
As I've said 1,000 times, this is how I normally light my cigars.
Don't. Wow. I've been really impressed with the second third of this Siglo 6. Couldn't ask any more of it.
Okay, before we started, we all have perceptions in our mind. Has it hit what you hoped or expected? Is it better or less?
It's better.
I think it's
I've had a fair few Siglo 6 over the last 2 years, 3 years. From the different, look, they didn't make a lot of Siglo 6 and 18s. A few of the 19s. This is the best one I've had in a while. This is certainly the best Siglo 6 I've had in a while.
Yeah, same with me.
Current production Siglo 6 from 17 to now, this is the best Siglo 6 I've had in that period of time.
Yeah, I mean, Siglo 6 was always a great one. It started just so brilliantly with those 03s, of course. But it was still always a really, really good cigar. But you'd expect that. I mean, it was pretty much the flagship of the flagship brand of regular production.
But what this brings is not only flavour and a kaleidoscope of flavours, but also class to it.
Oh,
It's just got a nice, a class aspect to it, which is difficult to explain to people as what class is defined in a cigar. But when the flavours are so clear, when the flavours are so distinct, and they're so smooth, and they meld into each other, they're not separate to each other. They just blend so beautifully together.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
That's the no elbows, no knees.
No, but it's gorgeous.
I'll be very interested to see whether the last third refrains from that bitterness returning, the heat coming back for a young cigar. I suspect it will.
Right now, this is dead set on 95 for me, the second third.
I'm thinking 95, 96 at the moment.
There you go. So we're not too far apart. We're back with you at the end of the last third.
But just very quickly, though, as wonderful as this is, when you consider that we were talking, 97, 98, 99 for that Upman Sawini a couple of days ago.
Review coming next week, hopefully.
It was that far above it. I mean, that's extraordinary, really. If I wouldn't have expected.
I wonder if we're marking this cigar down because we had that Sawini previously.
I don't think so. I think if
we're only human, Ken. We're only human.
If we're that influenced, we shouldn't be doing this, or at least people shouldn't be listening to us. If we're that badly influenced,
Kenny, people should be listening to us anyway. So we're back at the last third.
But
Kenny, last third of this Siglo 6. I've enjoyed our conversation. We've discussed rugby, politics, soccer, NFL, draft. It's all good.
Who are you drafting?
That doesn't really matter for us. Get your money on the Tampa Buccaneers for the Super Bowl. Maybe not. That wasn't a financial advice situation.
As I said, they're in win now mode.
It's got a little bit harsh towards the end.
No, mine's not. Mine's gone the other way. I've lost that harshness. I'm not getting that.
Had yours. I'm still going to give this a 94, 95. Actually, 93, 94.
I'm probably 94, 95.
What a great cigar, hey?
Terrific cigar.
EOS, July 19. Seriously. And it's got years to go in it. This thing is something that's going to age so well.
Where's EOS?
Where is EOS?
Which is the EOS?
EOS is the factory.
Yeah.
EOS has been probably, I think last year we did the top factory codes out of Cuba, and EOS turned up in the top 2 or 3.
Oh, I'd have to. I mean, everything we've had from EOS has been great. I'm just wondering which factory.
Brilliant.
Do you know which factory?
I got no idea. To be honest, I have. Well, actually, if I had an idea, I still couldn't tell you. So it is, but it's been EOS is one of the great. I haven't seen a bad box out of EOS yet.
No.
In any mark, in any cigar, it's just been great, and they just do a great job.
This has got better and better for me. After that period where it had that slight bitterness, I expected this to go back to bitter and harsh to a degree, and I'm not seeing it at all.
I'm really impressed, Ken. I'm really impressed with this. That's about as good as a Cuban cigar can be. Okay, you'll get slightly better experience, but this is, again, 94, 95 right now, 93, 94, 94, 95. But I can see this in 3 years' time being right up there.
And 10 or 15 years, it should be a glorious thing.
I don't think there's there's no hesitation saying there's legs to these cigars.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Kenny.
We're on
Another
a
good
roll.
afternoon on Zoom FOH reviews. Quite liking this.
I'm hoping that you didn't leave me anything that wasn't EOS.
We've got some great cigars for next week, Ken. So we'll be back into it.
Is that the
Maybe
replay
on
of
the
last?
weekend. If you've got some time on the weekend, we've done the review. But if not, I'll see you next week. But for the
I'm not
rest of
going.
you, keep safe, social distancing, hasta luego. We're doing it well. Cheers, fellas. Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys. What caught you unawares?
Welcome to FOH. This
Oh,
week,
that was quick.
we've got the Cohiba Siglo 6.
Oh,
Hang on,
there's
can
the
you?
phone.
Oh, for God's sake. You said you were ready, you dick. We'll be back with you shortly.